So what we have here today is the Tad Gear S2 Sheath. Hi everybody, how you all doing? I bought another video for you on a little item that I think just might be interesting to take a look at. Like a lot of you, I have a lot of multi-tools. I have knives and I have flashlights or other accessories that every now and then I prefer to carry in its own separate compartment, like a sheath. Particularly this is because it's easier to access, and in a lot of ways you can sometimes protect the tool that you want to carry. There are no videos out there, I think, on this sheath, or at least not a single dedicated one, and I wanted to bring attention to it because I think that this is one of the best multi-tool or knife sheaths out there in the market. Particularly if you compare this to the Maxpedition sheaths or Condors or many of the other ones, even the sheets that come with some of the multi-tools that you purchase. Let me see if I can find one here. Where did it go? Oh, never mind. I guess I couldn't find it. But a lot of you know that tools like the Leatherman multi-tools often tend to come with sheets also, as well as Gerber tools. But a lot of the sheets, for the most part, are okay, I believe. They are not particularly greatly designed, which is odd because, come on, like Leatherman tools are incredibly well designed and built. But I always find it odd that, well, perhaps not odd, but a little disappointing that they don't take the same amount of effort when designing their sheets. I know that the sheets, the pouches that they come with the multi-tools often tend to be an afterthought, which is okay, especially if I'm getting a free pouch with my multi-tool. But it would be nice to get something a little more dedicated or a little more of a higher quality, let's say. Anyways, this sheath from Tad is not only nicely built and well thought out, but it's also very cheap. It's made in the USA, as told right here, this little flag, and it's only $14. It's actually really good quality for the price, and unlike Maxpedition sheets, which I've given those a try before, this one is not necessarily overbuilt. The problem that I have with Maxpeditions, well, their stuff in general, is a lot of times they tend to come with way more features than you actually need, and the sheet itself or the pouch or the bag tends to be overly bulky, unnecessarily bulky, by which I mean the pouch that you're using or the bag that you're using is bigger, heavier, and more cumbersome than the thing you intended to carry. So their sheets are just so much bigger and much more stiff and much thicker to carry around that I'd rather just throw the multi-tool in my pocket. But with Tad, you don't get that. With Tad, you get a little more simplicity. You do get the Velcro loops right here if you want to attach this vertically to, say, a shoulder strap. But you also get the MOLLE loops in case you want to attach this horizontally or vertically to MOLLE as well. Obviously, with the Velcro loops right here, you can attach this horizontally to MOLLE webbing. That's no problem. But the neat thing about this is that you can actually remove this. Let me give this a try. I have to do this off camera. Give me a second. There you go. There. See how much simpler this is and cleaner? You do get a pass-through set of little holes right here, or channels. I think these are considered channels, which they just go right through. But if you don't need this and you think you'd rather just attach this with, say, a malice clip to a utility belt, or say a backpack, you can do this much better this way. Let me attach this. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you already know how to do this, but just for the sake of the video, we'll be demonstrating. And there you go. Just like that. Now once this is attached, it's much, let's say a little bit more low profile. Again, I think this sheath is great, especially for the price. It's only 14 bucks, and you probably have purchased things from Tag before. Some of you who have done so most likely already have this little sheath. But a lot of people might not just be aware of it, so that's why I wanted to bring attention to it. It's a nice quality. It's about 1.5 inches wide. The width, I'll say about 1 inch. And the length, well, obviously can be adjusted because you can adjust the Velcro loop right here. The nice thing about it too is that the Velcro is really strong. It's not only military spec, but it attaches securely. It attaches securely to both halves, but it's not too strong that is difficult to actually undo. Again, sort of one of the problems that I had with the Maxpedition sheath. This was very simple, and I like that there's no elastic on the side. This is intended to carry smaller pouches, smaller multi-tools, which I should probably demonstrate which ones fit. I have a Leatherman rebar right here, my most recent acquisition. Fits very well. The height is just right. Now this is one of the problems that I personally have with the sheath, and by which I mean, I mean this is not a fault of the design. This sheath is actually intended to house multitude of sizes for multi-tools, knives, flashlights, magazines. So there will be a little bit of extra space, but because the way this is sewn, you can see how this S shape or S line is formed. It's actually because the way the sheath is sewn, I don't know if you can tell, it's sewn in different size. So this gives you this very nice, this curve that when you put down your multi-tool or your knife or whatever it is, it kind of tends to hug it a little more and it tends to sandwich the sheath around it. The Leatherman rebar fits perfectly, which is very nice. Also fits a Leatherman wave. Ideally, I personally will most likely rather have the thinner part of the multi-tool go down first, but since I have a lanyard, I can't do that. That's my fault. So you will have to put this upside down. But even with a lanyard, just pull this to the side. The pouch fits very well in the sheath. I think it hugs the wave a little bit better than the rebar because the rebar is slightly thinner. Now I originally purchased this with the intention of carrying a Leatherman Farmer, Victorinox, my bad, a Victorinox Farmer. I have this limited edition from Swiss Bianco, Odie green with the red shield. I love this coloration. And I really like this tool. I know the Victorinox is purposely designed to be carried in a pocket, hence the curves on the pouch. But after carrying this for only one outing, I don't know if you can tell right here, the scales started losing color already, and I was carrying this in my pocket. Plus the problem was that it wasn't standing straight in my pocket, it kept going horizontal. I was carrying pants that did not have any kind of internal coin pocket, so I thought, well, what if I got a sheath that could fit it? And well, it fits. It is nice that you still get a little bit of the top. It doesn't get lost deep in here like some of the other sheets that I have. Some of them are way too big, and you can tell how much deeper in there it is. I could still grab it because I have a lanyard, but that's not ideal. So it fits in here. Problem is, the Farmer is such a small tool that you get so much more space. Again, if I wanted to, it works. It works well. Like, it does exactly what it needs to do, and which is nice. But I actually made my own sheath because I was impatiently waiting for Tad to ship this. It took about like 1 weekend. I like to make my own stuff, so I made my own sheath specifically for the Farmer, and this is just a prototype for the time being, and it fits the farmer a lot better than the S2 does. This sheath that I made, it's also, this one's only it can only be attached horizontally. I did not, you cannot attach this vertically unless it is a backpack shoulder strap. But it just so happens that the way I made the sheath actually fits the rebar like a glove. See how much tighter that is? Like such a much better fit. And on top of that, the sheath that I made is actually less bulky than the Tath S2 sheath. See? And that's because the one that I made has less fabric and less material around it, but it can only fit a certain amount of tools. It can technically fit the Leatherman Wave, but it is a very tight fit. See how hard that was? And it will kind of close. The Velcro that I use for this is not strong enough. This is actually the Velcro that you use for wrapping the excess webbing on your backpack. So it's not the strongest. Again, this is just a prototype that I did, but it fits the Wave, not ideally. And it will also fit a Leatherman Juice. It fits the Juice really well as well. Just enough from the top that you can grab it, and low enough that it's not that obtrusive. But anyways, that's just something I did on my own. That's not a knock against the Tath sheath per se, only because I know that this was intended to carry many other things. You can obviously carry flashlights in here. I don't have a flashlight handy that might fit, or maybe I do. Let's see. What is this? A Phoenix PD22. It fits here very well. Yeah. Oh, also it does fit a Tath Gear Dauntless Mark IV, and subsequently it probably fits all other Dauntless. You can fit in either direction you want, I guess. It does come out a little long, and you do get a little less Velcro attachment, but it works very well in case you wanted to carry this separately, perhaps on the shoulder of your backpack. I will probably try to throw in a photo or two of the attachment options for the sheath, just to show you how I carry it. And anyways, that's about it. Also, I wanted to show you, I know it's a like almost 15-minute long video just for one stupid little sheath, but this is just to point out that you don't really have to settle for a lot of the other mediocre sheets or knife pouches or multi-tool pouches that are out there. Tath makes some really nice options. I do think this could be slightly re-engineered, because you can tell, like, look how wide this is. This could probably be just a little bit, you know, shorter or not as wide. But besides that, it's really nice. It's really good for the money. It's made in the USA. It's high quality, and this applies to all the other sheets that Tath has. I do have some other sheets that are very similar. This one is a lot closer to the Tath Gear S1, I believe, which is meant for carrying much larger multi-tools, like say the Leatherman Surge or the Multi-Tool 300. So just so you can see the size comparison. This is a small sheet, but it can carry a lot. Anyways, that's about it for now, guys. I hope you have a good day, and I might post a video or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 later. Alright, nice talking to you guys. See ya.